Hey everyone, it's Abs. How are you doing? Um, I'm back clearly with another video. It's been a long time. That just might be how this goes. Thank you all for sticking around though. I really appreciate you just hanging out and yeah, waiting for me to come back. So here I am, and I had just a little story that I wanted to share with you. Before I get into the story, I'll just say that by actually no, I did do one video in this new place, so I moved. And I've really just been adjusting to the new place, or maybe not adjusting, I should say. Um, yeah, it's been an interesting transition, and that's something that I can expand on later. But that's just kind of context for where I've been. I've just been trying to put things into place, if you will. Um, but I missed you, and I miss talking, and I don't really have a large community here. Um, so we'll see what happens with that. But I have my online community, which I'm hoping to build and get to know you guys a little bit more. Okay, story time. So I applied for some jobs in the last few weeks, and I was super excited to hear back from two of them in particular that I applied for the two that I applied for the most recently. Um, and so I did the interviews for both of them. I thought they both went pretty well. One was on the computer, one was in person. And I heard back from the first one first, and I did not get that job. And I was like, okay, that's like, I wondered why, they didn't give any feedback, but I'm like, okay, it would have required an overseas move very soon. So I was just like, okay, like, it's too bad, like, doesn't feel good when you're not chosen, but I just accepted that because I was really looking forward to the second one. So I heard back from the second one yesterday, and I also did not get that job. So that one was more disappointing. It was more disappointing because it had felt more feasible for me, and it seemed like the interview went well. I thought the interview had gone well. I prepared significantly for the interview. I sent my kids over to the neighbor's house. I drove an hour to get to the interview. So I just felt like I had put a lot into making that opportunity happen, both to making the interview go well and then hopefully for that to lead to something in the future. And so when it didn't, I was like, oh, like, like what? Okay. Because there were supposed to be two rounds of two levels. So there's the group interview and then a second round of interview. So they were like, we don't even want you for the second one. Like, they didn't say we don't want you, but basically that's what they said, right? Like, we're not going to invite you for the second part. So that kind of did not feel good. And again, left me with questions because they also didn't give me immediate feedback. They said that I could get feedback if I wanted to. So I did write to them and ask, and I'm waiting to hear back about what they say. But I had to take a few minutes. Like, I stopped what I was doing, and I had to take a few minutes and be like, okay, how am I going to deal with this? Like, what's my next step going to be? I was really, really hoping that I would have gotten that job because I've not had a job, like been employed by somebody else in several months. I've been able to do lots of other things instead of that, which I will come back to. But I hadn't had a job, and I just, in terms of my finances, wanted that job, for the stable income. So yeah, I just that them saying no meant that I wasn't going to have that stable income and all that comes with it, like the title and the colleagues in the office and the benefits, the new surroundings and things like that. So I just felt like, okay, there all that goes. And I had to figure out what it meant. I had a little bit of the inclination to do what's natural and be like, oh, they don't want me. Like, I wasn't, to go back over the interview in my mind and figure out what it is. But I realized, like, I kind of shifted. I was like, there's no point going down that road because what I really felt was that it wasn't my time to do this. It would have been a good job, and I think I would have done a good job in it. But it would have taken a lot of energy and time, and that time has to come from somewhere. So it would have taken time away from the path that I had initially set out for myself in the last number of years, and especially this year. I made my list like I do every year of like, what I want, what my vision is. And I've been revisiting it a lot in the last number of months, like this year, just because I felt like I was a little bit off my path. And so trying to refine that list and stay on it and rebuild. I'm in a completely new space, physical environment, geographical space, and like spiritual and mental space right now. So it's really a time of building for me rather than like, going riding a wave. I kind of have to recreate that. So yeah, I just felt that um, God is like saying, you need to stay on the path that you set out for yourself, or that we set out together, like you need to stay doing what you're doing. And what I have been doing is amazing. So once I take my eyes off the door that was closed and look back to what I'm doing, um, I am already on my path. But I've been looking around so much that I've been distracted. So one of the things that I have done in the last little while is have my book published. This is my first book of poetry. It's called The Way We Hold On, and I am so extremely proud of it. I'm proud of myself and just grateful and amazed at how this came about. I went from writing in my journal, journal after journal after journal, to being published by a publisher in Lawrencetown, Nova Scotia, and my book being available on Chapters and Amazon. This is a dream come true. Like, I'm holding it in my hand. And I have been touring this book, which is also amazing to say, because that's something I had put on my vision board, my goal list, that I want to tour. I want to go on tour. It sounded really cool, but I also just wanted to connect with people and share my words with people that I don't know personally. And I've been able to do that. I've been to several cities and towns in Canada, from the East Coast to now here in Ontario, and hopefully in the fall I'll be going out west. I've also been doing workshops, creative writing workshops, and I will soon be teaching some dance classes, so some dance series, which I'm really looking forward to. So I felt like, Spirit was like, the energy that you would have put into that job, you would not have been able to do these things. You wouldn't be able to do your dance class. You won't be able to work on your next book. You won't be able to work on your prepare your workshops the way you want to, and take care of the house and be a mother and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to come from somewhere. And some people can do all of that, but that's not necessarily my purpose to do all of that. And I don't, I need to focus. I need to narrow down. Like, God knows I need to narrow and just have the fewer things that I'm doing, the better. But if they're in alignment, then I can do them. So it made me just remember where I get my energy from. I get my energy from, just now I was doing my blog post planner, and I really put a lot of energy into that, and it feels good. It fuels itself. I get energy from creative writing. I get energy from preparing for a workshop and like anticipating how it's going to go and who's going to be there and what stories I'm going to hear. I get my energy from dancing, whether it's by myself, or for other people. And I'm at the stage in life where it's not about dreaming anymore. It's about doing. It's about making the connections. You know what I mean? It's about really giving myself that permission. And that's the lesson that I've been, like, that is coming back to me. And so not getting these jobs reminded me of all this, pointed me towards all this. Like, yeah, you could have done that. And in the past, I have been doing jobs that I could do. Like, I can do them. But is that what I'm supposed to be doing right now? Is that where I need to be putting my energy right now? And I just felt like God was like, no. Or at least, I realized that, yeah, I need to shift. I need to shift, or to stay, where I am. Here's the book again, in case you want to see it. So I just wanted to share that message in case anyone is in the same position, or has been in the same position, has had a similar lesson. I would love to hear how it worked out for you, and what message was behind your no. What was on the other side of the no that you got? And if you have gotten a no recently, if a door has been closed that you're really hoping would open for you, I just hope that you stay encouraged and try to see what is on the other side of that. Like, what is your spirit? What is your gut What is God trying to tell you that you should do instead? And maybe just write those things down. Maybe it's not super clear, but just write down like, okay, instead of being disappointed and feeling rejected and that I'm not wanted, is there another direction that I should be going? What else is available to me right now that's right under my nose? You don't have to wait to be chosen by somebody. You can choose yourself. And that is the privilege and opportunity that not all of us, but a lot of us have. So if you have that opportunity to choose yourself, then do so and commit to yourself and commit to the works that you are doing. Commit to your vision. If you have money, put it towards that. If you have the time but not the money, put it towards, whatever resource you have, put it towards what you're trying to achieve and use one to create the other. And yeah, onward. I just believe things will work out. I believe that staying on this path is going to just help me continue to thrive and become more clear. To be honest, I haven't been feeling the most clear, but this happening has kind of reset my drive to do what I'm doing, and to believe in myself, because it always affirms itself when I do, when I am in those spaces. It's always affirming. It's always like, yes, this is what you need to be doing. This is where you need to be. So I'm going to redirect my energy towards these things and commit to it. And I will let you know how they turn out. And if you, again, have a similar situation, do let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your story about this. So see what's on the other side of your no. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.